Welcome everyone to Discourse. Today we're going to be discussing Happy Agony by Mem Ferda. Life can be a tumultuous journey, filled with both heartache and joy. Since his teenage years, the actor Mem Ferda has poured his soul into crafting poetry, and now feels compelled to share these words with the world. Through these verses, he strives to awaken deep emotions, ignite inspiration, and spread positivity, all the while offering a glimpse into the tapestry of reality, as seen through his own introspection and experiences.
Real life experiences indeed.
Yeah, I love poetry books in particular because the author is reassembling bits and pieces of their lives in such a way that's so artistic and full of depth. And I feel like poetry is a way into someone's life in such a very emotional way. And you do have to get vulnerable and introspective to really dig down deep to create art.
That and also finding connections.
Yeah.
Like someone looking out into the ocean could have different experiences.
That's true.
Or talking about, just like as mentioned, he shares a lot of his experiences in life, through poetry.
Yeah, this is definitely, I felt like it was very autobiographical, like a memoir almost, because we start at like his origin story, like even before he was born, like his ancestors, right? Throughout his life, different things that he experienced, that we all kind of experience.
Yeah, just the voyages that like his ancestors had to take, like to end up from Europe to the Americas to Hollywood, how it started. I got a sense of a lot of historical facts here as well. Like I had to look things up, like disaster, like what happened in 1989.
Yeah, so Mem Ferda, he is a British actor. So yeah, he's been in a ton of movies. And
with a Turkish background.
Yeah, with a Turkish background. So he was born in London, and he has a Turkish background. And the way the book starts off was exactly that, like origin story. So his great grandfather and his grandfather are on a voyage from Turkey to Cyprus, as history has shown through a lot of different real life accounts of what people experienced in the past on those voyages coming from another country, wherever they were going, and how difficult and devastating it could have been to these families who were traveling. Like they lost family members, and that's exactly what happened.
And what was that poem called?
The Meerschaump. I think we're saying it right. The Meerschaump pipe. So I had no idea what a meerschaump pipe was. So like you were saying, like we were educated on this one. So we looked it up, and they're pretty cool, like hand carved pipes from
ancient seashells.
Fossilized seashells, and it looked like wood, and they are so cool looking. They
design them into like animals or certain. Yeah. I don't know. It's just crazy, but supposedly it makes the flavor and the taste better.
Pretty cool. We had no idea. We learned something from the get-go. So
they look really fancy. Like you could tell those guys or women had class. Yeah, smoking out of those pipes.
That's right. They were classy smokers. So we got a really good glimpse into where it all kind of began for him before he was born, right?
Yeah, and the contents of the book, all the poems are separated into like his youth, the fallacy of luxury, which I guess recounts in Hollywood and his experiences there.
Right, yeah, he literally takes us step by step through his life. A lot of it I felt like was definitely introspective, and I almost felt like extremely intimate. Like there were some things where like going through puberty or becoming a man. And even falling in love for the first time, and how that kind of goes, and how it sometimes spirals.
And the opposite.
Yeah, and how it ends.
Heartbreak.
Yeah, and heartbreak. And I was just like, wow, I felt like the author was very open, and that's when really the real good creative juices really show, right? Are really being worked and really proven to make a person feel one way or another when they're reading their work.
And not just that, because I'm a visual person, and every poem has a drawing.
Oh yeah, and that was super cool. Yeah, that was really cool. It was very cool to have like that visual aid after every poem. It definitely reflected what was in the poem. Yeah. And that was really cool to see. I had never seen that before.
Yeah. For example, the Meerschaump pipe had this older gentleman smoking that pipe, and in that smoke, you could see like a drawing of that ship that he traveled in, like, you know, very old school, big wooden ship. It looks like you open up a journal from like travelers from back in the day.
Yeah, like the old school drawings too. I loved it. It was really cool. We're not going to read all of the poems. There are quite a bit, but we are going to just read a few of the ones that we liked in particular.
We read the book separately
yeah,
from the poems. But when we were sharing the ones we liked, I was like saying this, and that. She's like, I wrote that one too.
Yeah, so we definitely chose the poems that we both liked. We're just going to read them and then discuss, like a couple, just to let you know exactly what type of artistry has been compiled into this book. Painful at the start, but oh so sweet, a bonding experience, a merger, finally complete. It couldn't be more intimate, we have longevity. These tales of my ink I'll share with you. The wings of an angel are tattooed across my back. Its gentle curves and delicate lines form a true celestial work of art. They unfold in my darkest moments, guiding me like a beacon, keeping me on track. The scorpion inked on my shoulder in bold black lines is enigmatic and strong, my personal star sign. It's a reminder to be loyal, honest, and open, but to remain hidden deep beneath rocks, guarding secrets never to be spoken. The sword, shield, and red rose, all entwined on my arm, show my strength, my sensitivity in its delicate charm. It's a sign of heartbreak and hope for future love. May it never discolor, fade, or come to any harm. These marks on my skin, a soul's cartography, are a journey of self-expression in ink, a bold anthology. I dream to fly, to fight, to love, as the stars align, embarking on a life where heart and spirit entwine. Yeah, I really like that one. I have 0 tattoos. Full disclosure. Abel has some. But yeah, I definitely love seeing people with tattoos because there's always a story. There's always something behind the ink, right? And I love that he goes through it. And it sounded so... I mean, the only word that comes to mind is like beautiful. Like it's a beautiful process. Like there's so much put into the ink. Every needle prick, you know, it all is so meaningful and ingrained, literally ingrained into your skin.
Even from the beginning of the poem, like it's very painful but intimate.
Yeah.
And at the same time, and at the end, you got something for life. And as you said, like it shares a story. Like when I see people with tattoos, I'm like, what story do they have? Like I kind of feel shy, like to ask them, like, why'd you get that tattoo? Or
or like, what does that mean? What's that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially images. Like I have wolf on myself. Like it's like I consider that like my spirit animal.
But I also like the fact too, the process of getting a tattoo is painful. I like the tie-in of the book title, this poem in particular, Happy Agony, and also how it reflects life and life's experiences. There's a lot of happiness, but there's also so much heartbreak and loss and grief and hard times. I felt like that was like a complete tie-in with everything. I loved it. I thought that was great.
Yeah, just the visuals too. Imagining all of this and like, yeah, I could see that. That's true. I went through that.
This was towards more of the beginning of the book. I really felt like at this point, I was like, this is why this author received the Literary Titan Gold Book Award. Just because I felt like this is really good writing. This is meaningful, purposeful, very intimate, very vulnerable. Like we're getting somewhere. Like he has experienced life. Like you can tell.
Yeah. You can feel it. You can see it. And a lot of them you could even relate to it.
Right. Which I felt like is the whole purpose. Like that's also in the synopsis of his book. Like, you know, if you didn't feel something, then he didn't do a good job.
Yeah.
You know, but we definitely did. I can't adapt to be an urban rat in this concrete jungle so densely packed. Amid the chaos, I'd struggle to breathe in a city that would consume me like a suffocating, innocuous disease. I won't be blinded by material gain, Rolexes, Lamborghinis, or shipwrecked champagne. I appreciate the simple things I obtain. True fulfillment arises in my own lane. Urban rats on the monotonous daily grind, tightly stacked in tunnels, they soldier on blind. In gray suits and ties with hair tied back, they seek financial security, ambition to be top rat. I can't be just another cog in the clock, endlessly spinning like a spinning top, or mundanely running on the wheel for rats, a common Sisyphus in never-ending plight. No, I cannot adapt to be an urban rat, scurrying in this concrete prison, after drummed up hopes and expectations of bonuses, annual holidays, a sizable pension. My days are not filled with meetings and deadlines. I have the freedom to do whatever I like. Let urban rats seek fortune and fame. My happiness is living life without any shame. Break free from the race. Don't be a rat. Find your own pace and never look back. Don't be a slave to society's demands. Say F off to the corporate grind. For no chains of ambition, no cages of gold, break free from the script society has sold. In defiance, I dance under the wide open sky, for in this vast expanse, my soul learns to fly. I really like that because I feel like that appeals to nearly like 95% of US citizens, honestly. I feel that like there's nothing but fast-paced, moving, working buildings, everything, everywhere. No one's stopping to really appreciate the beauty of life and the simpleness that life can be, and not finding value in that. It's, disheartening.
Yeah, and like competing for pensions, salaries, who has the best watch, who has the nicest suit, like, does that even really matter?
For me in particular, people take away different things from experiences, from reading a poem. So for me, what it just made me think of was, what we just discussed, but also like being a mother, like knowing that the small moments, like with your children or with your husband or your family, are so much more important than getting a bonus or all these other crazy things and working to the bone. Yeah. The things that really matter in life are those quiet, slow moments when you actually spend time in nature or with your family.
Yeah, and Urban Rats, that poem got me feeling like, and I've been there before, working a lot of hours, working overtime, just hoping you're seen and hoping you're, I don't know.
You're working the best, the hardest, like everyone's seeing that.
And you're promoted and you're at the top of the group. Right. I guess a word of advice, if you are stuck in this urban environment, the concrete jungle, take some time to just step away, which I do sometimes. Go outside, enjoy the fresh air. Go to the ocean on the weekend. Like, enjoy those little things, like you said. So, I don't know, there's a lot in that. I feel like different people will get different
aspects of it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Calming sea, come envelop me. In your welcoming embrace, let me be. With your tranquil waters, soothe my soul, quench my body's thirst, and make me whole. Whisk me away to a state of ease, soothing me with your northeasterly breeze. Glistening and shimmering in the sunlight heat, your warmth on my eyelids makes me feel complete. Your beauty lies beyond what I can see. I am but a speck in this expanse so free. As I float in your arms, my worries all cease, drifting from reality to serenity and peace. Pearls of salt upon my lips sedate me. Your waves' rhythm is like a lullaby heavenly. On your tide, my spirits lift to a sleep so serene. Under spangling stars, I repose and dream.
The calming sea. Perfect tie-in to Urban Rats. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the follow-up of like, how about instead of doing this hustle bustle?
Yeah. Get away from the buildings and concrete and no nature whatsoever. Just crazy people and a lot of stress all around you.
And be enveloped in the salt air and the sand and the sounds.
The stars reflecting on the ocean. And
it just sounded so amazing. I was like, oh my God, let's go. Yeah. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm. Which also brings up another memory of back in my younger days when I was work, and school, of course, school and work, no personal life. Every now and then, I enjoyed going to, I believe it was Laguna Beach. Just go there at night because you could oversee, it was like a park high up overseeing like the ocean.
Oh yeah.
And I just used to like to sit on the bench and just sometimes close my eyes, just listen to the air, the fresh air, or look out into the vast ocean. So it has that, meditation, that calming.
Yeah, it's a centering.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Meditative state. Like, it's so important. I feel like a lot of people have lost the connection that we once had to the earth and to nature, and it's always nice to be reminded that that is something that is extremely important, not just, for environmental issues, but also just for your soul, like the environment in your soul. Oh, how I adore a doner kebab at any time, on any occasion, rotating on a vertical spit, so tempting, so tantalizing. The aroma whisks me to Turkey, the land of its origin, where doner means turning, spinning your taste buds like a whirling dervish. Nestled inside a warm pita, the juicy carvings are succulently hot, tender shreds of lamb mince are both delicate and soft and yet robust, spicy and crisp. Oh my god, I begin to salivate, anxious for my first bite, as the chap smiling behind the counter asks, "Would you like chili sauce and salad with that?" "Of course, mate." The first bite brings euphoric bliss, flavors dance on my tongue, divine. No need for fancy plates and forks, these hands will do just fine. I savor every morsel, every single bite, as chili sauce and oil trickle down my neck at once. Lettuce, cabbage, onion, and tomatoes add to the orchestra within the mouth. The chili sauce has a mind of its own, at times mild and gentle, with a subtle hint of spice, or fully grown in a fiery blaze, will knock you the spark out. So listen, this is how amazing poetry can be. You can just sit there and talk about kebabs, and it be an artistic delight.
These hands will do just fine.
I know, yeah, and that too. Honestly, it made me want to eat that for sure. And I was just like, yeah, get your hands in there, just It just made me feel like, yeah, I've had that meal before. Like, I don't know, it was like an instant connection with just the author, like, yeah, I get you right now.
Just the feeling, the memories, because I love food. I love trying all sorts of food, you know.
Yeah.
I would love to try this Turkish food also.
I know, I was like, oh my god, this sounds amazing.
And just the writing, the visuals.
Yeah, it did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Made you hungry, for one. But also, it sparked that memory of like that one meal for you. And you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
How did that poem transport me just now?
Oh.
Transportation device. That's what this poetry book was. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys, and be sure to check out Happy Agony by Mem Ferda.